and welcome. You are listening to At Home with Ifeno. Here, we'll talk about helping women know and understand their worth, find fulfillment in who they are, and in what they do. Every other week, we'll talk about your identity as a woman, discovering your unique purpose, intentionally raising the next generation, and your influence in homemaking. I am your host, Ifoma Neka Omoni.
Hello, and welcome to At Home with Ifeno. How are you today? Where is the time going? Wow, October is gradually coming to an end. Wow. We're already about how many days away from the end of the month. But not to worry, you can still achieve a lot. Yes. If you put your heart to it, if you put your mind remaining focused, don't allow distractions, focus on your focus. I just want to welcome you and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us globally. I'm so excited to be with you today. So, how is the family? How is work? How is business? How is whatever your hands are engaged in doing? Whatever your hands find to do, as long as it is the proper thing, the positive thing, because you could be doing something bad. Whatever good thing your hand finds to do it well. Yeah, do it very well. And you are sure to get, that increase, the promotion, the raise that you're expecting in a way you never imagined. Just be diligent, focused, and put in your best. And the rewards will come. You don't have a control over the rewards in a way, yeah, and the time and how they come. But where you should focus on is doing your own part, putting in the work. So for today's topic, and this is very, very strategic at the time we are in. Yes, I know the year is wrapping up gradually, even though what I'm about to talk about should not be done just because the year is about to end. It should be a lifestyle. It should be something we should do as frequently as possible. It will reduce a lot of stress. Yeah, it will reduce a lot of stress, and we'll have that sense of freedom when we make it part of our lifestyle. So for today, I'll be talking on creative decluttering tips. Decluttering tips to declutter. Creative decluttering tips. So take your sweet spots, your water, tea, coffee, and give me your listening attention. It promises to be worth the investment of your time. What really is decluttering? Decluttering is the process of removing unnecessary or unwanted items from your living space. Unnecessary or unwanted items. The removal of such things from where you stay, where you live. It involves sorting through your belongings and getting rid of things that no longer serve you or that you simply don't need. The things that are not relevant, the things that you have been piling, waiting that I will use it, just keep it. Sometimes Ifeno does it too, so don't feel guilty. Some of us are still, but my own is that after a while I don't find it difficult to discard because I really like organized spaces. So decluttering is not so much a big deal for me, in the sense that after a while, because I don't like places looking so organized, before I know what I start, but I know how to keep. I know how to keep sometimes, but I'll be like, what are you using this thing to do? And then I found out that sometimes when I give out what I've been keeping, one day I'll now want to use it and I'll be looking for it. But it gets to a time where you can't be keeping something, for such a long time and it's not serving you. So decluttering has to do with getting rid of unwanted, unnecessary things that are no longer serving us and that we simply don't need. Dear listener, you don't have to wait till the end of the year to engage in this exercise called decluttering. Decluttering can be done monthly, quarterly, and as frequently as you create the time for it. Yes. It's something that we need to inculcate, should be part of our lifestyle, should become a positive habit. Many of us want to have a simple life, but do you know that simplicity that many of us want is achievable with having less stuff, less things, which may sound attractive to some people, but many times we begin to feel anxious and defeated by the idea of owning less things. So we live in a world and in a society where we like to accumulate things. Sometimes we are roped into getting things because it's on sale, it's on this, there's a discount. The first thing we should ask ourselves is, do we really need it? What is it going to do for us? How is it going to serve us? And even when we have purchased such stuff, such items, after a while, ask yourself, is it really doing something for me, or it is no more necessary? I don't need it. And once you don't need it, it is better you give it out or you take it out, because it will help in giving your space, that feel of not being choked, not, just being crowded with a lot of things that are of no use to you. So the question I would like to ask us today, some questions I would like to ask is, why do you have the things that you have? The things you own, why do you really have them? I think these questions will help you to know how to be creative in decluttering unwanted and unnecessary things. Why do you have the things you own? 2, are they still serving you? The things that you own, are they still working for you? Do you still have any need for them? And 3, are you just emotionally attached to the things you own? So you still keep them, believing that one day you would use them. These 3 questions are questions that we should keep asking ourselves. Let's be realistic. Okay, so even if you are not doing it every week, so can we do it quarterly? Because even if you buy an item or whatever, after a while, it might not be easy to discard it in 1 month or so. So can we start by having quarterly decluttering? It will help us so that our house doesn't become a junkyard, a place that we're just keeping things that don't serve us. I know that this could be a daunting task, to many of us, but it can also be an incredibly rewarding one. Decluttering can be really, really rewarding. Areas where we can declutter, I'll just give us a list of places, because some of us might be wondering, Ifeno, so where do I need to declutter? The first place you can start with is your bedroom. Yes, declutter your wardrobe or closet, as some people might call it, your bedside table if you have such, and your dresser. Check the drawers in your dresser. Even our dressing table. Some of us have finished perfumes. We finished some things and they are just sitting on the table. Please, on a monthly basis, discard the empty bottles, and let that place breathe. Let it have that place look more organized. Second place you could also look at in decluttering is your living room. You could try and remove unnecessary furniture after a while, accessories and electronics, things that are not serving you, things that are unwanted that are not necessary. From time to time, your bedroom, your living room are areas that you can work on decluttering. The third area for decluttering is your kitchen. Yeah. Organize your cabinets, your countertops, your pantry, which could also be a store for some of us where we keep our food stuff. From time to time, find out what is there. Let there not be a build-up that will attract cockroaches. And if you're not careful, rats. But for someone like Ifeno, I can't stay with rats. I cannot. The day I discover anything like that, it must go. So our kitchen is another very important place that we need to declutter regularly. The fourth area for decluttering is our bathroom. Take out whatever is not serving you in your bathroom. And then the fifth area I would suggest is your home office. Now, some of us might not have that space. Some of us don't have a place we call our office at home. But many people started working from home and they created that space. They decided to make a room or so to become their home office. If you have that space or what you call a study table, you need to clear your workspace of unnecessary papers, pens, files, and stationery supplies, the things that are not necessary. Always have that in mind, that are not necessary, that are unwanted, and that are no longer serving you. Those are the things that we need to keep removing from our space so that we can enjoy our space and be productive in our space. So what are the benefits of decluttering? Someone might say, if I know, what are the benefits beyond removing the things because you want your space to be organized? The first thing I will say is that decluttering helps in reducing stress. That's one benefit, stress. Clutter has, that sense of making our space overwhelming. When you see clutter can be visually overwhelming. Seeing a place with a lot of things. You go into a room, you don't even know where you're going to put your feet to walk in. That is not good, dear listener. And that contributes to feelings of anxiety. So we keep postponing, okay, tomorrow, next week. And sometimes it's until you have a visitor that is coming where you have been piling up those things, then you now start trying to sort out the place. So the benefits of cluttering are really, really enormous. The first one I said is that it reduces stress. And stress is something that many of us, struggle with today. One of the things contributing to our stress is clutter. And we need to declutter our spaces, our living space where we live, so that we can have less things to worry about. The second thing that decluttering does for us is that it increases our productivity. A clean and organized space can help you focus and be more efficient. I'll take that again. A clean and organized space helps you get your focus right and you are more efficient. 3, decluttering helps in saving money. How? Some people might ask. It helps you in getting rid of unused items, and then you can avoid spending money on replacements. So when you find out that something has not been serving you, you will definitely not want to go back and buy it again. So it helps save money. When you have discovered that, the purpose of this item in my home is already, you have exhausted its use and is not wanted, it helps you saving money. It helps in saving your money. So decluttering makes us discover what we need and what we don't need. And we end up saving money than spending money on things we don't really need. It is in the process of decluttering that you will discover what you have, what you don't have, and what you need and what you don't need. 4th is that decluttering improves your mood and mental clarity. This has a connection with reducing stress. So a cluttered home can create a sense of calm and well-being. Yes, decluttering can help clear your mind and reduce feeling of overwhelm. So decluttering has a lot of benefits: reduction of stress, high productivity, money saving, and then it helps in creating space. Yes, decluttering creates space. So as you declutter, you remove the things you don't need, and it makes your living space feel more open and airy. Ventilation is improved when you declutter. So please and please and please, like I said, we don't need to wait till the end of the year. So if you haven't started decluttering your home, your office, wherever you are, your shop, wherever you always have something to do in a particular space, take out time quarterly, half the year, to declutter. But it mustn't be at the end of the year. When we do this frequently, it will become a habit and a lifestyle that will actually, the top to me is that it, increases our productivity and it helps in reducing stress. So I would just like to share some creative tips, which I said was our focus, creative decluttering tips. But before we go into those creative decluttering tips, I would like to also ask ourselves. So questions you should ask yourself, about each item you want to declutter, you want to remove. First one is, do I love this item? For each item, ask yourself, 1, do I love this item? 2, do I use this item? And 3, does it serve a purpose? I'll take that again. For every item you want to decide whether you should take out or leave it to remain, ask yourself, do I just love this item, or do I use it, and does it serve a purpose? Being honest to these 3 questions will help making your decluttering process an easy one. Number 1 creative tip for this decluttering is start small. Start small. Begin with a small manageable space like your drawer or your shelf. You cannot say today, if I'm going to declutter the entire house. You will be discouraged. You'll be overwhelmed. In fact, people will come back home and ask you, what are you doing? So you can't do everything in one day. So the first tip is for you to make it creative and not overwhelming. Start small. Begin with a small space. Start with 30 minutes at a time or less. You can start slowly and build momentum gradually. Like I said, 30 minutes every other day or every other week or every other month. So you can say, okay, I did decluttering last December, so the next time you will do it maybe will be around February or March, like that. As you do this, gradually building up your momentum, you'll be surprised how far you would have gone with your decluttering if you consistently, consistently do this. So you can't do everything on a particular day, but if you make it a consistent, decision that every 30 minutes, every other day when I come back or before I go to something, just look for a time. I don't want to say do 1 hour, 30 minutes. You can start from your room. What are the things on your bedside drawer that you don't need? Open those drawers, things that are not relevant and not important to you, but they are just gathering space or occupying space and gathering dust. Take them out. When you do it consistently, you will be surprised how far you have gone. Even when you look at your home by middle of the year or even by the end of the year, you'll find out that even that end of the year, when some of us want to say, okay, let me clean out things I don't need. By that time, you won't even have things to clean out because you've been doing it consistently and regularly. So the first way to make this journey of decluttering creative, the first tip is start small so that you are not discouraged. 2, one category at a time. Take one category at a time. Focus on decluttering items within a specific category. For example, the clothing category is one, books is another, and your kitchen is another. So you can decide that today I'm going to work on my wardrobe. I'm going to look at my closet in my room. That is how you can make it a creative journey. Don't stay in the kitchen and from the kitchen you jump to your room. No, decide to take one category at a time so that when you finish with your kitchen, you can say, okay, I am done with the kitchen, which might take you maybe some weeks or so, depending on how large your kitchen is and what you have there. Then you move to another category. If you are a lover of books, if you have a study, if you have a shelf, or wherever, you now move to the next category. So the second creative tip is to go one category at a time. The third creative tip that will help in our decluttering is to create a system. Create a system. And what does this mean? It means developing a structure for organizing and storing items. This could involve labeling, having storage containers, or specific places for everything. Have a system of keeping your things organized, of storing your items. If you have storage containers, you to label things so that it is very easy to look for things and find them. You will find out that it's easy for you to discover what you are looking for and where you can find them. So create a storage system. When you create a storage system, this would make your journey a very seamless one. Another part of creating a system is that you could also have what I call a decluttering checklist. So a checklist is having a list where you tick whatever you have done or whatever assignment or project you have a list of things you want to do. So that checklist is a way of ticking what has been done to say this is already done, I've attended to it. When you create a decluttering checklist, it makes it a lot easier to declutter. When you have a visual representation of where you need to get started, it makes it easy for you to know how to go along that journey. So create a list of things you have and the things that you haven't used in a long time, and honestly tick out what you don't have need for. I'll take that again. Create a list of things. The things you have clothes, for example, and then in the clothes you have, look at it and say, what are the things that I have here that I have not used in a long time? And then be honest to tick out what you don't have need for. The dress is tight and you are waiting to lose weight for over a year or two. You are really hoping, even if you are a nursing mother, okay, maybe there's hope. But if you have not had a baby in the last 5 years and a dress is still in your wardrobe, please, it takes us to the next one. Donate it, give it out. And the fourth creative tip for decluttering is donate. Consider donating to charity and giving out items you no longer need. Donate your clothes that you will not wear, you will never wear again. Simply hang them with hangers in the reverse direction. So now I'm sharing with you how you can know the things you don't really need and you need to donate. So, for example, when you hang your clothes with the hangers in the reverse direction, after wearing any of those clothes, face the hanger in the correct direction. And then Donate the clothes that you never touched. After a few months. So I'm saying that those things in your wardrobe, honestly, we need to be honest. Let's give them out. Let's give it out. They have not lost the weight. So, and time is going. And there are people that when you give them these things, they will be very glad. They will be praying for you. So, giving out things we don't have need of is a way of, keeping our space organized and decluttering. And number 5 is prevent future clutter. So, in order not to make our journey as if we are not making progress, as we declutter our space, as we declutter and get things that are not serving us, in order to make this journey a productive and fruitful one, prevent future clutter. And how do you do that? We need to be mindful of new purchases and avoid bringing unnecessary items into your home. So, another guiding thought in making this creative tip of decluttering a reality in preventing future clutter is to ask yourself, what I'm about to purchase, do I really need it? Why am I buying it? These are questions that will guide us. I know it's not going to happen overnight. These suggestions and these tips are not going to happen automatically. But I think this is an episode that we need to keep listening to. So be mindful of the new purchases that you make so that you avoid bringing things you don't really need. So decluttering comes with its benefits, as I have shared some of the benefits: reducing stress, increase productivity, saving money. Yes, saving money. So even though it's tough to act on, but it has its benefits. It comes with less to organize, less stress, less debt. You're not owing what you did not buy, and much more. But dear listener, I want you to remember that decluttering is a process. Decluttering is a process. It's not a one-time event. By making a conscious effort to keep your space organized, you can maintain a clutter-free and peaceful environment. By making that effort, that intentional effort to keep your area, to keep your home, to keep your space organized, you can maintain a clutter-free and peaceful environment. In closing, I would like to share a verse of the scripture that reads, and I quote, "Be alert and guard your heart from greed and from always wishing for what you don't have. For your life can never be measured by the amount of things you possess." I'll take that verse again. Dear listeners, be alert and guard your heart from greed and from always wishing for what you don't have. For your life can never be measured by the amount of things you possess. This is found in the book of Luke 12, verse 15, and I just read the TPT version. So don't think that your life is seen as fulfilling, as, successful based on the things that you have. And stop wishing and, getting stressed over the things you don't have and you are desiring. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you can desire a new car, you can desire clothes and things like that. But don't get too obsessed with this desire, because sometimes it leads to us purchasing things we really don't need. So, enjoy your decluttering experience and welcome to a season of freedom.
Thanks for joining us this week on At Home with Ifeno. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17. As always, Subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next in 2 weeks' time.